From talking to each of you ahead of this program, I know that each of you believes that it's absolutely vital for companies that are first starting out to establish a wellness program that you have to have buy-in from the top leadership of your companies. Could you each take a moment to talk about how important that was in launching and in growing your wellness programs? Alan?
I've got a table full of employees over there. Maybe they'd be better suited to answer it. Jeff, fire it off. How important is it that I led the show? So Jeff said they pretty much do what they're told. Thanks, Jeff. He said it's pretty important.
Tyler?
Well, I don't know if you can get much more simple than that, and I think, you know, all joking aside, it is pretty important because, you know, when we have, you know, I'm the health promotions manager. I sit at a desk in Milwaukee. You know, I make a phone call to Lincoln, Nebraska, and say, hey, do you mind getting a walking program together? You know, it doesn't carry as much weight as when the leadership team says, hey, we've only had, you know, 30% participation in our HRA program. That's not good enough. We want 100%. And he puts out a message to, you know, the rest of the leaders, and it kind of comes down, and you start to see things from the different locations that say, hey, that one over there is at 80%. Hey, that one over there is at 70%. We're only at, you know, 40%. We better step it up a little, because you get that again, that leadership from the top. When you get a message from the leader of the organization that says this isn't good enough, and if we don't make some changes, there's going to be some changes. You know, I mean, that carries a lot of weight, and, you know, we kind of joke about it, but it really is critical to the success of any program. If you don't have that leadership support, you're just going to kind of spin your wheels until you get it. And at Rexnord, we actually just got a bit of a bump in that leadership support this year with our program. And again, we're looking at the healthcare costs, and they continue to go up. And finally, we look at it and say, you know what, enough is enough. We need more participation in this program, more buy-in, and we're going to get it, by golly. So, you know, sometimes it takes that sort of push from the top to actually make something happen.
I can't even imagine what it would be like without that support, because as I mentioned, our CEO, Greg Nickerson, was the one that basically said, hey, we're going to start a wellness program. You know, who wants to volunteer to kind of put it together? So it was his vision that basically set forth what we're doing today. And if we didn't have that buy-in or that support, I can't imagine how tough it would be to get certain activities approved, or budgets are approved, or the time that we're spending, you know, doing this type of thing. Again, we're a service business. We work by, you know, by the clock in terms of time. So I think that I can't even imagine what it would be like to not have that support. I think it's absolutely critical. So I was actually pleased and feel like we were really lucky that it actually came as a directive from the top, kind of like your situation.
You know, complete agreement. We sat down around a table and said that we're never going to ask anyone to do what we ourselves wouldn't do. And so we, you know, immediately joined the Fittest Exec competition and made our team of all executives, because we said, you know, we're not going to sit here and say that you guys should do all of this, and we're too busy. And so we are leading by example. We try to, in any event that we do, have some form of leadership there. We send out multiple messages from our CEO, and it's more, again, catered on the fact of we care about your health and well-being and happiness. We are trying purposefully not to always focus everything to the bottom line insurance costs, because that takes away some of the meaning. Ultimately, yes, that's what we want, but it's not about that. It really is happier employees, healthier employees are more productive, and they feel more engaged. And that really is the messaging that comes out from our leadership on a regular basis.
Excuse me. As a small family business, we have roughly 100 people. You know, could you imagine going to your CEO and saying, hey, by the way, we want to start a wellness plan and give out 87 bikes? If you don't have the approval at the top, some stuff like that isn't going to happen. And really it was, you know, the kind of more creative and doing stuff that, you know, with our business and the people, we can do a lot more things if we have the buy-in from all of us. And you know, we look at things a little bit different. You know, a lot of these are large companies, and they look at ROI and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's important, but it's not why we do things. We do things because they're the right things to do, because you care about the health and welfare and long well-being of your people. And so we do things a lot more creatively than a real kind of cookie-cutter structured type plan, and doing things like giving away bikes. And we do, when we have our shop lunches now, as some of my staff can attest to, there's no more desserts, there's no more, I mean, it's healthy stuff now. I mean, we used to do the, you know, Saz's, or we do other stuff, but now we tell them, yeah, we want, you know, baked chicken, not the barbecue chicken, and we don't want the, you know, all the other stuff. So we've really kind of tried to change a lot of what we're doing, but it really, it's all of us that are involved in the process.